With logo design, being able to sketch out your ideas with pencil and paper is the best way to spark your creativity. Sometimes I struggle with certain logo designs when I hop right into Illustrator with a pen tool. I feel like with a pencil and paper I can sketch out many ideas more quickly and I'm more free to experiment and make mistakes because it's so much easier to draw and erase. I wanted to show you how I incorporate sketching, this kind of sketching process, into my logo brainstorming sessions. Today I'm using the Procreate app that is compatible with the iPad and the Apple Pencil, but you do not have to have this application or an iPad to get started sketching out your ideas. Everything I do in this section can be done with traditional pencil and paper. Okay, so I have the Procreate app open. Of course, you can have just a standard pen and paper that you can do, or pencil and paper, to do the same concepting process. So a little bit about the logo brief. The company name is called SWAN, and it's going to be a high-end spa. So they're going to offer massage services, yoga, any kind of service like that. So I thought, when I was thinking about the name, I thought, okay, SWAN. Well, a swan, I can kind of see a swan being developed out of this S shape. So what if I made this a swan, but also made it look like the S of the lettering? So this would be really hard to do with the pen tool because there's lots of curves. So let's kind of go back in time, or use your eraser if you're using a pencil or traditional methods. So let's start to sketch out a little bit of this. So in this example, I'm just trying to sketch what I think would be a really good S shape with maybe some wings coming out of it. I really want to make sure the S is distinct, and maybe I can have the opportunity to make the wings a different color so that I can make the S a separate color and have it stand out, because I really want people to see the swan symbol but also make out the S so that they see the S and the swan symbol. One of the great things about sketching with traditional methods or using the Procreate app is I can erase and start all over, or I can have 6 or 7 different versions of the swan. So if I draw one and I think it's horrible, I erase it, I start over, I just keep doing it over and over and over again until I feel like I could find kind of a right match or a right curves or angles, and that takes time. And so if I did this with the pen tool, it'd be a little bit of a harder, longer process. So this is just so freeing to be able to just sketch and draw and color, and I can do this anywhere to be able to find that right perfect symbol. Okay, so now let's smooth out our picture here a little bit. I like the basic shape. It's not perfect, but that's what the pen tool will be when we bring this into Illustrator and we start to trace it. But I'm just getting the shape. It's just kind of a better shape. Okay, just smoothing out certain things that I want to be smoothed out. Maybe make that smoother. And then take our brush tool and thicken anything we want to thicken. So we want to thicken this line here. We can do that, make it stronger. We can make that one stronger, this one a little skinnier. Make that stronger, because we want to have this logo be viewable when it's zoomed out. So to have nice thick lines, it's always nice to have defined shapes in your logo. Nothing that's too wimpy or weak. That's not going to be able to be seen when it's zoomed out or very small. So that's a good basic shape. It's all kind of jagged. That's okay. We're going to bring that in and smooth that out with the pen tool. Let's do 1 or 2 other kind of concepts to see if we can find a better direction, and if not, we could take this into Illustrator and start to begin the vectorizing process. So this is sped up a little bit just for the sake of time, but I decided to try one that wasn't dependent on the S concept, where it was a standalone swan, maybe in a pool of water, and we could put the logo or the typography below it, just to kind of have maybe a symbol that they could put on towels and water bottles and different things that they would need that could look really nice standalone, and not worry about trying to do the S. And I did get to this point where I realized maybe the S concept is a little stronger. but it doesn't hurt to doodle and draw this out, because we didn't waste hardly any time. I spent about 10 minutes playing around with this little concept and realized it was neat, but I think kind of doing a play on the S is probably a stronger concept overall. So I'm doing a few final tweaks, just kind of smoothing out some lines where I have a chance. The smoother the lines, the easier it'll be to vectorize when we're bringing it into Illustrator. And once I feel happy with it, I'm going to export this as a JPEG and just put that JPEG into a new canvas in Adobe Illustrator. And I will see you there, and we're going to go ahead and trace over our logo and smooth out anything we want to smooth out at that point. And then we'll be really close to then working with the typography part of the logo.